Hey, what's up guys? This is Tracy with Treseysworld, and today I'm going to be talking about how I survived in Los Angeles. I know y'all like, what? How did I survive Los Angeles? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and stay tuned. My name is Tracy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have another video just for you. Yes, I do. Okay, so today this is something that I think will be very helpful for those. Sorry, my ears like stopped up. This is something that I think will be very helpful for those that are thinking about moving to LA or in LA and trying to figure it out. A lot of people have asked me, like, how did you live in LA without a roommate and afford it? And they are always shocked when I tell them I've only had a roommate one time. One time I had a roommate for about 6 months, and it just wasn't my scene. She was a nice person, cool, but it was not my scene. Like, I like to buy my own furniture, like to decorate, like to make it my own home, like to feel it. And I couldn't feel it, so I had to get out of that situation. But beyond that, besides that time, I've never had a roommate. I've always lived on my own. One time I was balling. I actually had 2 cars, believe it or not, an SUV and a car. So I'm gonna tell y'all how I did it. Y'all wanna know how I did it? Okay.
For those that don't know, my name is Tracy. I'm a singer-songwriter, actress. My song Too Smart for Love is available on all digital platforms. So go ahead and add me to those Spotify playlists, and go ahead and check me out on all digital platforms. That's Apple Music, iTunes, eMusic, Pandora, SoundCloud, you name it.
So first of all, it is very expensive in LA. And just a few years ago, my rent was almost, for one bedroom, I think I was around $1,800–$1,900. Now that's cheap, but back that was some years ago, it was expensive. One bedroom. And I always lived on my own, right? Always. So when I first went there, my parents helped me get set up in an apartment. So I got an apartment, and it was cool. It wasn't even that expensive back then, because I didn't live in the best area when I first went there. I lived in PC when I first went to LA. I wasn't living I ain't moved on up. I was like in Panorama City at the beginning. So just FYI. And not the new Panorama. The Panorama City is a couple years, some years ago. Years and years, some time ago, some years ago. So, but I had a great experience there. Like, everybody, all my neighbors, they knew I was young, and they talked to my dad and was like, we're gonna look out for it, we're gonna take care of it, and they did. They looked out for me, and I come home late or whatever, it would always be somebody waiting, making sure, I got in okay, just keeping their eyes out, and looked out for me. Lord Jesus, what is happening with my speech? I don't know what's going on. So that's where I lived the first time. My first one. Rent wasn't bad. It was very comfortable. Even though I was young, I could make it work with a job. I was doing like agency jobs here or there, paying my rent. Nothing concrete, because I had to be flexible because I'm an actress. Okay, so that's how it was going. So I moved to a different area. I want to say this is Canoga Park. It ain't that much, Canoga Park. If y'all know the areas, I'm naming them. I'm shouting you out. I moved to Canoga Park, a bigger apartment. I loved the apartment. It was nice. Didn't have a roommate, but my rent was like $18. It was right at $18. So I worked. Then I worked insurance. I believe I was at an agency job. I worked an agency job, so that I can have flexibility. That means I can bounce off when I need to do shows or whatever. So I worked an agency job. And then I would do background work. Now, in LA, back then, background work, you can really, make some sort of living with it. You ain't about to be balling, but you can survive with it. It will really help you. First of all, you get to be on set, and you get to learn, how things go on set. You know, you learn a lot. You hear the lingo, you see where to stand, you see how everything flows and moves. So it's good. It's a good experience. But backgrounds, people are treated like garbage. They are treated like the gum on the bottom of somebody's shoe on most shows. Like I said, there are exceptions. I've had someone's flying in my face. I had some good experiences, but I've had some bad experiences too. But I would do that. So I would work Monday through Friday. Friday when I get off of work, I would go to do background work. And I wouldn't be done until Sunday. I know y'all saying, what? Yes, I would go and do background work Friday, normally call time about 5 p.m. and we would get out 5 or 6 in the morning the next day, and then I'll pick up another show that next day, and I would do that show from like 8 sometimes 8 till 2 or 3 in the morning, get off and do one more show on that Sunday, which I would have call time sometime at 6 a.m. and then I'll be out by 6 p.m. and then I'll get sleep Sunday night and I'll go to work Monday. So I did this for a while, for like a year or more. I did that consistently. So much and so until I found myself with a lot of money. No, just no, but I found myself with some extra cash, y'all. Like, okay, so I got my 9 to 5 going. It was really when 9 to 5 was like 7 to 3:30 or 8 to 4, whatever. I got that going and I'm making pretty decent with that, you know, and that's an actual gig, working in insurance. So I'm doing that. And then when that, you know, Monday through Friday, when Friday hit, I'm at Universal lot. I shot at a lot. I shot at other places too. We shot on location somewhere downtown at some type of bank. This is for another show. And you know, so I would be doing what I got to do. Then a person at our church was working on, ooh, this is about to really date me if I say this, because y'all don't even be knowing how old I am, but yeah, we about to date ourselves. This person at my church worked on a show. I just say it like that. They worked on a show, so a lot of us did background too for that particular show. We got called in sometime during the week. So sometimes I get off of work and I'm going to do a show, and I just know I'm not going to get any sleep. I didn't need very much sleep. So on those times, I maybe would get 2 hours a night, to be honest with you. On Sunday, I would crash and burn. So after about 7 to 8, I'm asleep until the next morning I have to get up and go to work about 6. So that's how I survived. So I found myself with this extra cash, and I was like, oh, I'm about to get me another car, you know? So next thing I know, I got 2 rides. I'm living it up. I got 2 rides, y'all. I was like, oh, I got an SUV and I got a car. And I was like feeling myself. Like, everybody like, what? You doing so good. Yeah, girl, I work 24/7. Ain't have time to do nothing. I ain't going no dates. I ain't talking to nobody. I just was just working all the time, straight through. And then just more recently, not recent, but like more recently in the last 5 years, gig work showed up. So in order to be flexible, again, I was doing gig work, Uber, mainly Uber and Lyft, sometimes DoorDash, sometimes Uber Eats, but Uber and Lyft, yeah. So and Uber Eats, whatever ding on my phone, that's what I was doing, because I was like, I need to make this money. So in 1 year for Uber, I had made like $63,000 in 1 year, just doing Uber and Uber Eats combined, $63,000. And I was like, that's not a lot in California, but it was enough for me to be able to survive, you know, the $63,000 from Uber, and then the background work, you know, making somewhat, you know, consistently working, doing that sometimes, you know, making like 20-some thousand. So like, you got to think about it. I probably was like, if I combined the two, I probably was doing really good. Like, but I was not sleeping. I don't recommend that life for anybody, because it is hard. And it's not, everything's gonna be hard, but I mean, it is like you get no rest. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your health. Which is probably why later on, because this is later on when I got sick with valley fever, but I think just the years and years of physical abuse to my body and just going, I think it just made me susceptible to other things. And I think that's why I was the candidate for that thing. Like, came in and attached itself to me and it wouldn't let me go. But that's that's kind of how I survived in California. I did gig work. Oh, I forgot to say, and sometimes I would do freelance, like video work, you know, shoot stuff for people, video stuff for people. But everything I did kept me with a flexible schedule. Because one thing I'm going to tell you, back in the day, they probably say you could be waitresses and all that. Ooh, let me go to the little cafe. Maybe I'll meet a writer director. It ain't like that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't trying to, you know, I wasn't really wanting to be a waitress. Nothing wrong with being a waitress. I just wasn't, I didn't even have any skills. I ain't never been a waitress. So I wasn't really into that. And I was just like, just trying to keep flexible scheduling so that I can do the things I wanted to do. So if I did get called for a shoot, I can do it. If I got called for an opportunity, I can do it, because I found out when I tried to work a standard job that I didn't have any flexibility to do the things that I wanted to do, and nobody was willing to work with me. Like, hey, can I have this day off? Like, you got to put it in. Oh, it might not get approved. Might get approved. Like, I need tomorrow off. I'm gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I was, and that's how hard it was, because it's like you have to make a decision, but you still have to survive. You know what I mean? You still have to survive. You have to eat. You know. Let me tell y'all that. And another thing, speaking of eating, the great thing about working on set is you got craft services. You never have to grocery shop. I didn't grocery shop for an entire year. I didn't have to. I was on set. I was on set eating for free. Okay, so I did not have to grocery shop. There was nothing in my refrigerator. Maybe some water, possibly. But yeah, so that saved me too. So I didn't have to no groceries to really get. And then when I did Uber and Lyft, of course, the gas in California is expensive. Let's just be honest. The gas would be kind of expensive. So I just had to work. You know, I had to work, and I had to really, like, when I wasn't driving, I was like, I'm not working. My car ain't going nowhere. I'm not going somewhere to just hang out. I gotta save. Like, I gotta budget. I gotta have, like, really a budget for things. Know what I gotta pay out. Know all these things. All the things, you know. So that's how it was for me. So if you're thinking about going to California, make sure you have a plan. You got to have a really good plan. You got to have a good plan. You got to know, like, what I'm going to be doing every day, how I'm going to supplement my income. Look at what's going on now with the strike. What if the industry shuts down for a while? What am I going to do? How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay my rent? You got to really have a plan. And I think a lot of people don't always think everything through. They just see the glitz and glamour and light, and they're just like, I'm going to go and I'm going to do and I'm going to be, you know, but they don't think about the in-betweens. What happens if they shut down? What happened, you know, like COVID caught a lot of people off guard. The strike is catching a lot of people. And let me just say something about the strike really quick. It was needed, because I'm telling you, it was needed. The studios are banking and the people are not banking. The actors are not banking. All of them. Some of them are, but not all of them. So it was definitely needed. What I will say is I wish there is more support for non-union as well as union, because a lot of the shows wouldn't, you know, be able to be what they are without them having those feature backgrounds of people to contribute to it and make it look real and authentic, like they're really needed, yet they're treated like crap. But nobody's marching for the non-union actors. I'm just putting that out there. Like, I stand with everybody. I stand with the writers, I stand with the actors, the SAG, I stand with everybody. But I just want to point that out to those people that's on the front line. I call them on the front line workers, the people that's really in the cut, in the grit, in the cold, in extreme temperatures, and in heels, walking back and forth 50 million times, you know, bunions on your feet. You know, those people need some love too, and those people need some support too, and those people need some recognition, and those people need some changes. And I know once the head changes, it does trickle down to everything else. That's what the hope is. But, you know, I'm just putting that out there. That's my truth. That is the truth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications. All right, here we go. Go out and be great today. Whatever it is you do, whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you dream of doing, go out and do it and be great today. Ha!